Alright, what's going on, guys? So, I just a little bit ago got back from a screener of the Purge 2 Anarchy, and I wasn't going to do this right away. I'm going to be gone for about a week. I got to go do some stuff. So, I'm going to do a review of this today. I'm going to do Apes tomorrow because I saw Apes on Saturday. And, so, I'll leave you guys with 3 or 4 videos. And then I'll be back in a week from tomorrow. So, The Purge 2, I wasn't a big fan of the first Purge movie. I enjoyed it enough in theaters. I didn't think it was awful. It definitely wasn't anything special. It had a really cool concept, and it totally blew it. I like Ethan Hawke, so Ethan Hawke is always a plus for me. So, I don't know. The Purge 2 made a better attraction at Universal Halloween Horror Nights than it did a movie. So, going in, when they announced the sequel, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. The yearly thing. James DeMonaco is directing again. So, and then I saw the preview. In the first preview, I was like, because it just didn't look that great. I took when I saw the second preview that I was like, okay, I'm going to give this movie a chance, because I thought the preview looked pretty cool, and I like Frank Grillo a lot. So, I saw the movie today. The Purge 2 Anarchy is a sequel that pretty much does what it needed to do. I really enjoyed this movie, which is something... I watched Chris Stuckman's video a little bit ago, and he just, like, ripped on it. He gave it, like, a D-, but it's not. It's really not that bad. He just ranted about getting sequels made the entire movie. So, sorry, like, that discredits you because you didn't want to see it going in. The Purge 2 is pretty much, you get the movie that you saw in the preview. It is, if you like the way the preview looked, you're probably gonna like the movie. If you don't like the way the preview looked, then you won't. It is not a horror movie. The first Purge kind of like tried its hand at being like a horror movie, and then it ended up being more of a thriller, weird movie. This is more of like a really, really dark, mean-spirited thriller action movie, and it is very definitely in the vein of like Escape from New York, Assault on Precinct 13, just like that really hardcore action. This is a lot like a Carpenter movie too. I wish it had had more of a synthesized score, because it would have worked perfectly. This is very much like a Carpenter movie. It is brutal action. This gives you what you wanted to see in the first Purge movie, and I'm not going to say that it's light at all. It's a very, very dark movie, and it's very violent, and like in Chris Stuckman's video, he's saying that it's like unnecessarily violent. I disagree with that entirely. I feel like if you're going to go watch a really dark, violent movie, you want it to be dark and violent. Sometimes that's my thing, other times not so much. In this case, I thought it was pretty cool, and I thought it was really well done. And I'm a really big Carpenter fan, so the fact that this movie took inspiration from Carpenter was just like a win for me. It is very exceedingly violent. All the blood is CG, but it didn't really bother me. These movies are made on fucking nothing. I think this had like a budget of $4 million, which for this movie has a pretty big scope. I know it's kind of countered a lot by there's a lot of shots that they're close-ups, so they don't need a ton of production design and stuff. But still, for $4 million, this is a full-on action movie: guns, killing, shooting, people dying, action, exploding, machetes, violence. It's all there. Frank Grillo plays lead character, whose motivations you find out more on the movie. It's nothing new to the genre, but it's still really cool, and he definitely delivers. I really, really like Frank Grillo, and I think he is a rising action star, definitely. He was super good in Warrior. I was surprised at how good he was in Captain America, and I hope he's the villain in the third one. He needs to play Crossbones, or at least the secondary villain, because he was really good. But yeah, he's a really cool hero, definitely in kind of like the vein of Snake Plissken in Escape from New York. What I really liked about this movie, though, is it just like... the acting, for the most part, is not that great, besides Frank Grillo. Everyone else is kind of okay. The kid, Zach, whatever, the one from Friday Night Lights, he's pretty stiff. His girl, she's pretty good. She's good. the most part, I guess. The little girl, the little black girl who was in Prisoners. She is fantastic. She is definitely a star to look out for. She was really good in Prisoners. She was really good in this. I mean, there were no real, like, breakout performances or anything from here. Frank Grillo is the showcase through and through, and I mean, you can tell because he's the kind of only name actor. But I don't think James DeMonaco is a very talented director. I think this movie works because it's really entertaining and really cool. I mean, what is he, like, a second-time director? The Purge was his first movie, so I'm going to give him some break. He's going to learn more with each. And I just think this is an overall improvement on everything that the first Purge wasn't. This is the Purge. This Purge should have come first. This takes the concept. It's really cool. It kind of has some political stuff, but it kind of fizzles out a little bit. It's just a very violent action movie. And if you go looking for a very violent action movie with that, it's just like horrific. Like there's scenes where I was just like, oh my god, it was so violent, and for me it was really energizing. I was really just like tense the whole time. There's some scares, not a ton. But, you know, I enjoyed the movie enough, and it's definitely, I'm on board for a third one. I really am. If they keep moving in this direction, I'd really like to see what they do next time. I really would, because it's like we left the house now. So, I don't know, it's basically just 5 people surviving a night in the Purge. There are some insanely cool action scenes, though. There's a scene where there's like a bunch of homeless people, and they're leaving this tunnel, and this guy just like pulls up with a flamethrower, just like burns all these people. And then there's a guy with an 18-wheeler who his trunk opens up, and he has a minigun. He's just like mowing people down, and it's really big, but it's like big budget action movie stuff done on a small scale. And I think it's really well done, and I really like what Jason Blum is doing to these movies, kind of bringing them down a notch. I would love to see them bring in practical effects for these movies. That would be really cool, and I think that'd be really smart on his part. But I'm going to give The Purge Anarchy a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was a fantastic action movie. It doesn't deserve any higher than that. It's definitely a way... You know, actually, no, I think I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. I really, really enjoyed this, and I thought it was very entertaining. Again, I'm going to say this, though. If you don't like The Purge, or if you think the idea is stupid, or if you're squeamish and not into ultraviolence, don't see this, because you're going to be bothered by it. It is almost kind of senseless, but if you're going to go for one of these just like violent midnight movie things, then that's it. So 7.5, 8, somewhere in there. Yeah, so... The Purge Anarchy comes out on July 18th, I think. Follow me on Twitter down below. I will be posting that Dawn of the Planet of the Apes review sometime tomorrow before 3. So look for that. It's a review you're going to want to check out. So thanks very much, guys. Like I said, follow me on Twitter. I'm almost to 700 followers. When I get to 715, I'm going to have a contest. So thank you, and I will see you later.